The mystery surrounding the interstellar object known as 3A Atlas has grown into one of the strangest and most controversial astronomical events in recent memory, largely due to NASA's uncharacteristic silence and the unusual restrictions placed on observatories across the United States, Japan, and China. Reports have surfaced that several institutions were prohibited from releasing new visual data, and that independent astronomers who attempted to upload images or videos to public archives later discovered that their submissions had been removed or flagged as verification pending, effectively blocking public access. This abrupt blackout has fueled widespread speculation, particularly because NASA typically promotes transparency during rare cosmic events. Amateur astronomers from Japan's Saitama Observatory, Spain's Kawa Arcto team, and multiple Chinese observatories captured images of 3A Atlas during its perihelion, the moment of its closest approach to the Sun, only for their footage to be mysteriously scrubbed shortly after release. The most discussed clip came from the National Astronomical Observatories of China, recorded on October 29th, showing 3A Atlas emitting what appeared to be a faint blue beam toward the Sun's surface, seemingly causing a disturbance in the solar plasma. In the video, the Sun's plasma appeared to ripple and surge back toward the object, as if reacting to the beam. A second version of the same footage, zoomed in and enhanced using AI to improve clarity but reconstructed from the original observational data, circulated briefly online before disappearing. Critics initially dismissed the footage as fake because the object lacked any visible tail, contradicting standard comet behavior. Yet on November 6th, Spain's Arnovas Observatory captured and verified an image showing that 3A Atlas indeed possessed no tail after perihelion, indirectly supporting the authenticity of the Chinese clip. More unusual footage followed. On October 30th, the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan released a separate clip captured by a spacecraft positioned closer to the Sun. This footage, which spread quickly across Asian and European social media, depicted 3A Atlas from the side and suggested it was not a typical comet at all. Instead of a rocky or icy nucleus, it appeared as a long cylindrical structure emitting a steady, luminous glow, not reflected sunlight, but an apparent internal illumination. Even more bizarre, the object did not seem to tumble or move naturally through space. It appeared stationary, oriented directly toward the Sun as though deliberately maintaining its position. Despite the footage's viral spread, no U.S. media outlet or NASA platform acknowledged its existence, reinforcing suspicions that something extraordinary was being deliberately withheld. Then came the most dramatic footage yet from Russia's Roscosmos State Corporation. In this clip, widely shared among Russian astronomers, 3A Atlas appeared to shine more brightly than the Sun itself for a moment, with a deep blue core pulsing rhythmically at its center, suggesting some kind of internal energy or power source. Although U.S. media dismissed the footage as overexposed or digitally manipulated, astrophysicist Avi Loeb noted that after perihelion, 3A Atlas had indeed grown unexpectedly brighter and bluer in certain spectral bands, changes that cannot be easily explained by natural physics. Loeb proposed the possibility that the object might possess an internal or artificial power system capable of harnessing energy directly from solar radiation. His comments reignited global debate. A well-known Russian amateur astronomer, the same one credited with discovering multiple interstellar objects in past years, also released footage during perihelion that briefly appeared to show a tail. He later clarified that the tail-like feature was an optical illusion caused by lens flare and AI-enhanced reconstruction. The real shock came from the object's survival. At its closest point to the Sun, 3A Atlas endured temperatures exceeding 5,500 degrees, hot enough to vaporize metals, rock, and any known spacecraft, yet remained completely intact, showing no fragmentation or visible damage. Scientists were left wondering what kind of material or shielding could withstand such extreme solar radiation. Theories began to shift toward the extraordinary. Another clip, released anonymously by a U.S. amateur astronomer afraid to reveal his identity, showed thin glowing filaments extending from the object, tentacle-like structures reminiscent of biological cilia that reached into solar plasma and seemed to draw in energy before retracting. The astronomer insisted the motion was deliberate, rhythmic, and far too structured to be a camera glitch. Similar claims surfaced from British UFO researcher Nick Pope, who reported witnessing thousands of small, metallic-looking objects surrounding the Sun during a European Space Agency livestream. According to Pope, these were not solar particles or debris, but tiny entities maneuvering with intention, maintaining distance from both the Sun and one another. He suggested that 3A Atlas may not be alone, but instead could be deploying smaller companion probes, aligning with earlier theories proposed by Loeb that an interstellar object might scatter smaller craft across various planetary systems as it travels between stars. After perihelion, 3A Atlas changed further. It turned bluer, brightened again, and its trajectory shifted unexpectedly. Amateur astronomers across the world began sharing remarkably similar footage, intensifying suspicions that something unprecedented was happening. Scientists sent some of the footage to Professor Jack Gilbert, a microbiologist at the Scripps Institute of Oceanography. His reaction startled many. He claimed the object's movement resembled that of a paramecium, a microscopic single-celled organism that moves using thousands of tiny cilia, producing smooth, coordinated ripples. The resemblance was uncanny, he argued, suggesting that 3A Atlas might not be a ship or a rock, but a gigantic biological entity adapted for interstellar survival. One group of researchers proposed that before perihelion, the object had enclosed itself in a metallic-like cocoon to protect against solar radiation. Then, at its closest approach, it opened this shell and absorbed solar energy to regenerate, explaining its increased brightness and color shift afterward. Others theorized that it might be a hybrid, part biological, part technological, an engineered organism or a living craft with both organic and artificial components. Loeb addressed skeptics who claimed 3A Atlas was merely a comet, showing footage of Comet Nishimura from September 2023, which rapidly disintegrated when exposed to the Sun's intense plasma. Unlike every comet ever recorded, 3A Atlas did not dim, break apart, or lose mass. Instead, its brightness increased fivefold, its color shifted to electric blue, consistent with ionized plasma, and it seemed to absorb rather than lose material. After perihelion, Loeb noted that the object's trajectory deviated slightly from predictions, suggesting the possibility of internal propulsion. More concerning was that its new trajectory brought it marginally closer to Earth. Loeb warned that a small additional shift during its interaction with Jupiter's gravity could alter its path dramatically. Based on current calculations, 3A Atlas will reach its closest approach to Earth on December 19, 2025, passing approximately 7 million kilometers away, a safe yet uncomfortably close distance on a cosmic scale. However, even slight, unpredictable movements could change the outcome. If the object were somehow pulled off course and collided with Earth, the result would be catastrophic, with energy equivalent to millions of nuclear bombs and global climate consequences. Even without an impact, if the object is artificial or powered, its arrival in near-Earth space would represent an unprecedented moment for humanity. This has sparked a massive public debate. Is 3A Atlas simply an unusually stable interstellar rock, behaving unpredictably due to unfamiliar physics? Or is it something guided, powered, or even alive? And if its path continues shifting toward Earth, should humanity prepare for impact or for contact? The unanswered questions surrounding 3A Atlas have left both professional and amateur astronomers grappling with possibilities that stretch far beyond conventional science. As more observers attempt to gather data, many report increasingly unusual interference, ranging from sudden telescope malfunctions to corrupted sensor readings that appear only when aimed near the object's projected path. Although these incidents could be coincidental, the clustering of technical glitches has led some to suggest that 3A Atlas might emit electromagnetic fields strong enough to disrupt nearby equipment. A few observatories in Europe and South America privately indicated that their instruments behaved normally until 3A Atlas reemerged from behind the sun, after which unexplained spikes in radiation readings began to appear sporadically. None of these facilities have made formal public statements, likely to avoid public panic or accusations of pseudoscience. But the pattern has not gone unnoticed. Complicating the picture further is the object's apparent shift in luminosity patterns. Several teams analyzing archived spectral data noticed that the deep blue emission reported after perihelion is not consistent with natural solar reflection, nor with standard ionized gas signatures found in comets or asteroids. Instead, the spectrum contains repeating fluctuations, almost like pulses, occurring at intervals too regular to be random. These oscillations led some researchers to wonder whether the object might be transmitting or modulating energy in a controlled manner. Others have argued that the pulses may be a form of rotation or vibration, but the lack of tumbling motion contradicts this explanation. A few independent physicists propose that the object could be stabilizing itself through some kind of inertial or magnetic control system,